Alrighty, and a good morning to each and every one of you, and good to have you with us this morning. I'm John Coriel, a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida. Welcome to our meditation this morning. And we're going to be dealing with light this morning, protective light. And first of all, and with myself too, I just want to take a few deep breaths and relax and just rest into that wonderful spiritual essence that is right where we are, is what we are. And to begin, we just take a few deep breaths, and as we let it out, we exhale, the tension starts to leave your body. Continuing to take slow, calm breaths. And as we do that, we can mentally scan our bodies, taking note of how your body feels in this very moment. Focus in on the areas that feel any tenseness or uncomfortable, and concentrate on relaxing these areas. And as we do so, we can feel our bodies becoming more relaxed. Slowly releasing tension, letting go of stress. As you relax the body, I want you to visualize a protective light. Imagine that there is a protective light shining around your body, almost as if you are glowing. This light can keep you safe right now from any stress, tension, worries, and other problems that have seemed to bother you. I like to think of that light as spirit, that infiniteness. Picture in your mind being surrounded by light. It may seem warm, it may seem cool. However, it glows. Feel how calm and secure you feel as this protective light surrounds you. The light is like a shield, deflecting anything that is not good. It is like armor that can protect you and help you to feel completely Imagine your body being surrounded by your protective light. From your head all the way down to your feet. And we can turn our attention to our feet as we let the tension go, feeling how relaxed and maybe even tingling in your feet. Notice that your feet are surrounded by your protective light. And allow this light to move upward to your ankles and lower legs. Feel your lower legs relaxing, surrounded by light, soft, heavy, relaxed. Now your upper legs are relaxed and surrounded by light too. Very warm and completely at ease. And we allow this light to support you, giving your legs much needed rest from their daily task of keeping you grounded. Now turn your attention to your hands. Feel the tension leave as your hands become relaxed. Limp, heavy, along with your wrists and arms, all surrounded and protected, shielded by that protective light. And we can feel the light move inward. Relaxation in the core of your body, starting with your stomach and flowing outward. You feel the light flowing from the center of your body out to your back, chest, hips, illuminating your body. Now your whole being is enclosed in a shield of glowing light. Allowing the calming sensations to continue to flow through your body. As they move upward to your neck and shoulders, often where a lot of stress is, and all the way to the top of your head. Feel your face relaxing, letting go of tension. The protective light glowing warmly on your face. And your whole body. You are surrounded from head to toe in your light, shielded from any worries or troubles. Basking in the protective light. Notice that there might still be some areas of tension in your body, some worries remaining in your mind. You might even be able to picture these areas of tension as dark. And you can envision the dark tension being drawn out of your body by the protective light. Feel the worries and stress leaving your body and mind as they are banished from your body. This protective light is like a magnet, drawing the dark tension out of your body and away, repelled by the light. Once that tension has left your body, it is gone and unable to return due to your glowing shield, which protects you from anything that is not good. That light also works as a magnet for good, peaceful thoughts, attracting harmony to you. And you can feel the protective light drawing away tension and bringing forth relaxation. Shielding and protecting you while helping you to feel even more and more at peace. Enjoy this feeling of being safe and protected by your shield of protective light. You are calm, peaceful, relaxed, and safe. And it is now time to return to your day. And remember that you can imagine this protective light again anytime you need to. And can repel stress and tension and restore yourself. Focus again on your breathing. Taking a deep breath in and out. Now turn your attention to your body, reawakening. And you can gently move your body a little, feeling your muscles waking up. And stretch a little bit if you like. You allow your mind to become truly awake and alert while still feeling relaxed. We just recognize that wonderful protective light, the light of spirit, that is there for us whenever we wish. I sometimes picture myself in a grocery store line as I'm waiting and can turn with ease my mind to that protective light that surrounds me and surrounds each individual that is there. And when you are ready, you can allow your mind to become fully awake and alert and energized and calm. How good it is. How good it is. Makes me want to chuckle sometimes. Just it feels so good. It's what Emma Curtis Hopkins says, "My God is my good, and my good is my God." Well, as we bring it back into the room here, we just recognize that all is in perfect divine right order right here, right now. Our celebration service will begin at 10:30 this morning in just a few minutes. And I thank you so much for joining us for this light protecting meditation. Namaste.
Good morning, everybody. Lots of hum this morning. Spring is in the air, everyone's lively. All right. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, to our Sunday celebration, where we are here celebrating your magnificence. Yay, I love that. Happy Sunday, and we will start off with, we have Cassie all to ourselves this morning. So let's fully enjoy her. Woohoo!
Good morning. All right, well, as she mentioned, our band is taking a little vacation. Colette's in Vegas. Ooh. And John is at a medical conference. So you all are going to be my energy this morning, so stand up and get our blood flowing. And we have all Denise today. Do we have Renee Brown?
Shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spirit, you're the voice in us, rising up beyond the hush. Yeah, we feel it, reveal it. Yeah, we see it. Believe it, yeah. We feel it, reveal it, yeah. We see it, we feel it, reveal it, it's feeling. We see it, believe it, it's feeling.
Are you awake now? I know I am. That was lovely. Thank you very much. Let's give Kathy some more love. So welcome once again. My name is Linda Lloyd. I'm one of the practitioners here at Centers for Spiritual Living. Ernest Holmes is the founder of our philosophy, and we teach the universal truths found in all spiritual teachings, both traditional and contemporary. So please visit our website at cslcapecoral.org for more information. On upcoming events, we got lots of stuff going on around here to submit prayer requests and to send your comments and questions, and just so we can get to know you and reach out to you. So we want to say thank you to John Coriel, who, if you were in this morning's meditation, a lovely meditation. And right now, he is holding the high watch during our service today. He is, like Don likes to say, he's not taking a nap. He is holding us in the highest and greatest for each one of us, those that are here, those who are not even here, and for our service today. So thank you so much, John. And right now, we're going to have another amazing song from our beautiful Cassie. So let's give her some love.
When a step seems too hard to take, every turn feels like a big mistake. It makes you want to close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Spread your wings and rise above. The clouds in your mind fly you who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. Open it up,
than you are indeed. And thank you for staying standing. We have you guys well trained. This is when we say our blessing, so let's warm up these hands of manifestation and put in that love, light energy that we surrounded ourselves with in meditation this morning, and repeat the words on the screen with me. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. And one more amazing, I don't even know what to call it this morning. It's been so beautiful. We've been so bathed in Cassie. So here she is again.
You change dust into gold, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. You are doubt into action, vision renewed, perfect creation, unfolding in you. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams are bound to ashes, you rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams are in ashes, rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath You are the light. Dust into God, pieces into peace.
I don't know. I think that we give Disney World some competition for the happiest place on earth, don't you think? So at this time, we would like to invite any of our young people who would like to go back to attend our amazing youth program. It looks like Karen is ahead of that today. Thank you so much, Karen. And bye, girls. Have fun. Okay, and now it is my great pleasure to invite our amazing and wonderful, and it's not me this morning, it is Pam Lambert, and doubling as Pam Lambert. There we go. So please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. So, this month's theme is Light Within the Shadows. And about 5 years ago, we did a workshop called The Shadow Effect, and we're doing, shameless plug, we're doing it again today after service. And I found this book. I have the DVD, which we're going to be watching, but I found the book. And so I'm going to read a little something from that, but I've also found this fabulous bookmark that has nothing to do with shadow work, but it has to do with some of our friends that might remember Prosperity Plus one of the quotes that we loved from that, about a definition of spirit. And it says, "There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. A man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, cause the things he thinks about to be created." So, be careful what you think about. Think good thoughts. So, okay, so the shadow effect, my reading today is, this is from watching the news, which I should not do. We have reached a point where humanity is going to travel in one direction or another. I think a lot of us kind of feel something is building. We are being forced to choose a path of fear or love. We are moving towards the darkness. Are we moving towards the darkness, or are we moving towards the light? We know that what the path of fear would offer. And if attack thoughts reach a high enough pitch, then the insanity of the shadow would finally win, for all would be dark. And what about the path to love? What would the world of light look like were our physical eyes able to see it? And then here's what most of us know Marianne Williamson's her famous quote. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just for some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So let's take that into prayer. So I'd like you to bring to mind, this is for holding the light for those in need of either more good or people that are maybe having a challenge at present. So if you'll just bring those people to mind and hold that just for a few seconds. So this is what I know. I know that we are, each and every one of us, individualized expression of all there is, of spirit and of light. So each and every situation is in divine order, that life is good. Life is love, life is joy, life is perfect health, life is abundance. And I know as we proceed today for this next hour that we are, each and every one of us, spiritually fed, that we bless our music program, our children in the back, our Reverend Chris, our audiovisual people, our greeters and ushers, that we are each and every one of us heaven sent. So it's with great gratitude I just release my word and let it go. And together we can say, and so it is. And now it is my great pleasure to welcome Reverend Chris.
Good morning. So good to be back in my happy space with all these happy faces, and faces just how you are. I don't want to send that expectation that you always have to be happy, because that's just not possible. And if it was, I think we'd get bored with it after a while. So I like seeing your faces just how they are. It's wonderful to be here. Okay, so this month, shadow work. This can be a daunting thing at times. So I want to start off with an image. It's kind of like a recurring dream that I have. And in it, I find myself, I'm either being chased by something, or maybe I'm like right on the edge of like a crumbling cliff and I need to get away. But when I try to get away, it's as if I'm like trudging through like cement that hasn't quite set yet, but I just can't move in this dream. I'm just stuck there. No matter what I do, I just can't seem to move. Whatever it is that's chasing me never gets me, but I'm just stuck there. That image came to me when I was working on this talk, because what we do here in Centers for Spiritual Living is we're working on our expansion, our awareness of our spiritual selves, of our deeper nature with our oneness with all that is. And we do our practices. We do spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. We do meditation. We do affirmations, even vision boards. And we can do these things, but we know that everything begins in thought, and that's part of our work, because we become aware of what we're thinking of. But the unseen kind of hindrance is the shadow. The shadow is what we actually don't see or know that it's there until we start to do this work. Now, Carl Jung's the one that coined the term. And he said it's basically everything in our life that we've experienced or felt that isn't in alignment with our ideal ego, our personality that we put out in the world. And he said, we start forming our shadow as children. And it's when, maybe we're putting ourselves out there as a child and an adult says, that's inappropriate for right here. And so then we're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll hold that back, and we kind of stuff it down. Or traumas that happen. A lot of times, people think of shadow work as being all negative or all bad. But it's not. It can be our talents and our dreams that for some reason we have decided or unconsciously decided to repress, and we stuff it all down in there, and it kind of disappears. So for a lot of people, I really liked this image that I picked. So anybody that can't see it, it's an image of a valley. There's a dark cloud overhead, and there's a hole in the cloud where the light is shining through, and it shines down in the bottom of the valley. You can see the darker mountains around the edge, but where that light is shining, it's so vibrant and green, and it just looks like an inviting place. So that idea of the shadow of what we carry within can cause us sometimes a little fear. Like, thinking about sticking around for Pam's workshop might be a little daunting to some people. People who have experienced, different traumas and stuff that we may not want to look at. And that fear's there. But the thing is, when we look at it with an open mind, without a judgment, and just see what it is, it's a beautiful thing. It becomes, it's part of who we are. And we can embrace that. Because one thing that we know in the science of mind, what Ernest Holmes teaches us, and so many teachings throughout history, is that we are whole and complete beings. And so often we think about the parts of ourselves that maybe we don't like or don't want to show others, and we go into denial that even exists there. And so when we're denying part of ourselves, we're denying our wholeness. And so then it's as if we are trudging through that concrete, like we just can't seem to get forward. So the what and the why, that was the what and the why, is the idea that we all have this thing within us that maybe we've been afraid to look at. Eckhart Tolle, talks about the pain body, if anybody here is familiar with Eckhart Tolle. And that's the same thing, that we create, it's almost a separate entity within ourselves when we're young. It starts early. As soon as we start, being told no, or being told to show up in different ways. It's when somebody lashes out at us and causes us pain, and we're also kind of taught to not express that pain, so we suppress it. But then it gets activated throughout life. And what we learn from Ernest Holmes is that as thought creates, it can unknowingly be creating for us. So for a lot of people, maybe you've never even heard the term shadow before. I went most of my adult life until I became aware of it. And so I'm going to use a quote from Ernest Holmes. This is from what we call our textbook, The Science of Mind. And it's on page 223, the first paragraph, if anybody wants to look it up later. But it's just a simple sentence that says, "We might well remember always that unless we control thought, it will control us." And when we do the spiritual work, we can start to hear that voice. And we start to learn how to program our subconscious, which is what directs our life. It creates how we show up out there. But the shadow is called the shadow because it's more hidden than our subjective. The mind is so complicated that we can really stuff things down and not even be aware that it's there, working in the background all the time. So this work for this month, we are going to be looking at shadow all month long. And it can stir stuff up in us. So the one thing that I want to make sure, when we start doing shadow work, it's great to have a helper. And that's where I think our practitioners come in very handy. If you've never had a session with a practitioner, maybe this is the month to give it a shot. Because as we start to look at that, which is within us, crazy things can happen. It can really stir up stuff and cause us to we don't know sometimes that shadow's so hidden that there is pain underneath there that needs to be healed, needs to be revealed. But until we know that it's there, we can't do anything about it. And again, when I talk about it's not all negative and dark, there really is no negative and dark. It's all just the infinite light, but things can show up in our lives that feel like that. But that's when we're suppressing it and ignoring it. But when we shine that light on it, like in that valley, then we recognize that it is part of our infinite nature. We come from the infinite, and we have, as they say, the sinner and the saint, the killer and the lover. It's all inside each and every one of us. We all have that infinite potential. And so a lot of times, we get in our spiritual communities and we do what's called spiritual bypass. We ignore, we declare that darkness isn't within me. I am only love. I am only light. But you're denying part of our nature. And like Ernest Holmes said, unless we learn to control our thoughts, then that thought is on some level controlling us. So our work this week is to start to pay attention. We have our outer world that we all share, we all see here right now. But we need to take more time to look at our inner world, which is the dialogue that runs through our mind, our reactions, how we show up. Shadow work can show up as projection. People out there in our outer world that really trigger us, really get us angry, like that's a great opportunity to be like, take just a second, a step back and a second to think about asking a question. Why am I so activated by what was happening there? What am I holding within that maybe I was unaware of? And when I've talked before about, when we knock on the door, you knock and the door will be answered. Ask and you shall receive. When we have these moments, this is our work for this week, is to start to pay attention to what's going on within and asking ourselves, what is there? And you can speak to it as if it's like an entity. It might sound weird, but you can do this in silence and nobody will even know you're doing it. But just asking so shadow, what is it that you want me to see? What am I holding within that I was unaware of? And then just be still. And our minds will race, so don't let that intimidate you. Just aware. It's mindfulness, mindful observation, just seeing what comes up. And it's amazing how, things can be revealed. Intuition will start to show what it is that's within you that maybe you've been denying or suppressing. And then when we know it's there, then we can start to ask, how could that serve me? And so all of a sudden now that thing that we wanted to get rid of is now becoming a friend of ours. One really good example that is relevant in my life was anger. When I was younger, I had anger issues, and my temper was quick. And in high school, it's embarrassing to say when I would get into a fight with my parents or a girlfriend or somebody, and I would punch a hole in a wall. When my parents moved and sold that house 20 years after I was gone out of high school, and they had to clean out my old room, and then they took down the posters off the walls, they were like, wow, you were angry. And I had never really thought myself as being angry, but there's the evidence. I was always suppressing it. But here's the thing. So something like even anger, we can say it's a dark emotion because it can cause people to do horrible things. And when it's controlling us and we're not controlling it, how many people are in prison because they couldn't control their anger in a moment and did something foolish that then took away their freedom, took away their life. But that anger that's there, once I know that it's there, it can be a friend to me because most of my life I've been, or at least most of my adult life, I've been non-confrontational. If something's, upsetting me, I suppress it and I'm like, oh, just, let it go. And then I go on, and that's going to contribute to my frustration, which kind of feeds that anger part of me, and it builds and builds, and then it's just kind of that ticking time bomb. But when I learn that it's there, then when I get upset about something, it can be my strength. And I can do it in a healthy way, no, that upsets me, and I need to speak up. And I can do it with respect and kindness, instead of just all of a sudden the straw that breaks the camel's back that makes me explode, and then that is no way to advocate for myself or advocate for others. So that thing that was seeming like a hindrance is actually a strength, if I can use it and transform it into a way that is positive. All those traits, the dark, the light, it's all part of us. And there's times and circumstances that call for different parts of it, different combinations. But unless we're aware that we have that, then it can be, a challenge for us. So our work this week is really to kind of open up. I invite you, if you would like to discover more of this, please, I'm staying for the workshop. I'm excited. And I hope to encourage you to as well. Also keep in mind that if stuff comes up, reach out to people, reach out to a friend, reach out to a practitioner, and schedule a session, because this is one of the greatest ways moving forward. All the affirmations, all the vision boards, all these different things that we do to create a bigger life, which is our theme for the whole year of living life out loud, can get us to a certain point, and we can really become aware of that negative inner self-talk. But until we become aware of the stuff that's hidden, that shadow, then there's always something that's kind of holding us back. So now, last week, I put out this call, and we had Mark, who was very kind to share from his experience. And this is the part where I want to start encouraging people to reach out to me, to share your testimonials, things that shifted in your life. When you started taking Science of Mind classes, or when you started showing up on Sundays and taking some of the guidance and things that we learn here and applying it in your life and seeing shift, seeing ways that things show up differently in our lives. I want to hear about that, and I also want to share that with all of us here in the community. So I want to encourage people to reach out. But this week, I'm taking this spot because it fits in with what we were talking about. And it was one of the times where when we talk about affirmative prayer, we say affirmative prayer because it's not, what it is that we're stating into the one consciousness what it is that we would like to experience. And we say it in the affirmative as if it's already happened, and it is happening, that it is imminent. And sometimes we can intertwine that, what we call the negating thing, where we say, like, I am no longer a reactionary person. Like, anger no longer controls me. I can do that, but we always want to follow it up with the affirmation. And so I would, add in there that my mind remembers anger as a strength. I know that I have control over the emotion that shows up in me so that I can use it as a positive. This is how we start to create. But all that work, if we don't know what's underneath, then we get kind of stuck. And so what happened to me? This was when I had gotten serious about this philosophy, and I'd been in it for a while. I was in my fourth Science of Mind class, and I just felt really stuck. It felt like something was blocking me. Like I had been, experiencing all these shifts in my life. Better relationships with friends, better relationship with my spouse. Income was better. At work, I had a 180-degree shift in the way that I was thinking about it, and I was really experiencing, like, I was on cloud nine, like, wow, this stuff really works. But at around, that class 4 for me, this is 3 years of really putting myself into this philosophy and applying it. I just felt like I was really stuck. And so in that class, I went to one of the practitioners for like a 1-minute miracle prayer that we do at the end of the service today for anybody that's interested. And I told them I just feel stuck. Will you do a treatment for me to release that, to move into my next step? What's coming next for me? And they did. And that night, what happened was, it was so powerful and overwhelming and almost detrimental to my relationship. I woke up in the middle of the night, and we had a baby, and my spouse asked me, to go take care of the crying baby at that moment, and I was in a half, like, awake state, a half sleeping state, kind of that fugue space, and she said something that, her patience was very short, and she said something, and my reaction was so over the top, which that's a great indicator that you are in shadow. When your reaction is not proportionate to the offense, you know that's shadow, and that's your opportunity to step back and look and say, okay, what's that about? My reaction was so over the top that it scared her, it scared me, and it all happened in literally half of a second. But it was so overwhelming that it took a lot of work between her and myself. I had to go get a practitioner session the next day because it was so disturbing. And it was something that I thought I had released. I thought that I had let that temper go and that anger go because I'd been doing my spiritual work. And here I am. I'm healthy and strong and nothing can shake me. That anger from decades before that had been stuffed down there. I asked for something to release this block from me. And that was one of the times that spiritual mind treatment absolutely convinced me. Affirmative prayer works. And it shifted something that, like I say, it was hard to work through. But like shining that light in that valley, once I did, now I know it's there. And so I can see it when it starts to build. And I can use it as a strength when I need to draw on it, when I see something that I need to speak up about. And I can do that in a way that then is healthy and not controlling me and putting me in a situation where I make a poor choice and end up in prison like so many other people that made horrible choices in the heat of that moment. So I invite you, if you really want to get more in touch with your higher self, with your full self, to take advantage of a 1-minute prayer. And I know when I went to see that practitioner the next day and explained, it was, she said something to the effect of oh, wow, that's like a case of be careful what you ask for. And I'm like, it kind of is, but it is exactly what I asked for. And it has, through conscious effort after that, and observation and communication, it strengthened my relationship with my spouse. And it strengthened my commitment to creating more spirit, more awareness of spirit in my life and to share that with others. So there really is powerful stuff within us, but we have to be able to look at it and embrace that full spectrum of who we are. And when we do that, when we're doing our inner work, we see how it affects us in the outer. Things start to shift. And what's interesting is all that stuff that's happening there on the outer affects what happens on our inner. And so as we become just mindful, just observing without judgment and questioning and asking, what are we doing? What is my motivation going forward? How does the world show up in ways that I can tell myself the story in a way that recognizes the infinite parts of myself and the infinite strengths? So that's our work. I encourage you to embrace it and to prepare yourself and see what comes up. And if something comes up, by all means, reach out. So with that, let's take this into prayer and just acknowledge right now, within each and every one of us is that infinite divine light that contains all aspects, every single trait, not just the ones that we would label as good or positive. It's all the traits. We all have that infinite potential within us, and that as we become more aware of that, as we use this one mind and this one consciousness and observe all parts in ourselves, then we can learn to embrace it all, to recognize that each and every one of us has that infinite potential within. And as we embrace all parts within ourselves, then we can embrace all parts within others, recognizing that we are more complex and more deep than we could ever imagine. So as I learn how to embrace and accept myself in all aspects, then I learn how to utilize those traits in ways that benefit the world, that benefit myself, that benefit spirit, and they also help me to remember all those that I come into disagreement with, that I can take a second and recognize that they too are that infinite potential, that they are that same spirit within. And so which ways I choose to show up and which traits and qualities I wish to encourage in others helps bring us into alignment with that deeper thing that we are. So I affirm and avow that right now, throughout this entire planet, that there is a vibration of God, of love, of spirit, of nature, whatever you want to call it, that is always pulling us into this higher realm. So as we go forward, may that light carry us. May it be the strength to help us to look at those deeper parts within ourselves and have the courage and the bravery to bring that out, to express as we are, and to honor that within each and every one that we encounter. So sending thoughts of love, knowing that there is ripples of peace, of enlightenment that is calling each and every one to that higher place where we are all sure to reach at some point, that it is already there within us. It is only our awareness that is waiting. So as we knock, it opens the door. As we ask, it says yes. So in deepest gratitude for each and every person who is on their own individual path, whether spiritual, whether religious, or whether just personal growth and development, it's all the same thing. That Spirit is always calling us into higher expressions of ourself in order to realize our infinite potential. So in gratitude for that, I say thank you. I say thank you to the law, to the creative mechanism of this universe, to that part of Spirit that takes our prayers and always says yes. I say thank you for that. And then I just release these words, knowing that as I let go, now it's my joy to simply enjoy and experience life in its fullest as it unfolds in the perfect ways, without judgment, simply with awareness and constant intention of that love with that capital L. And I affirm that as I release it by saying, and so it is. So it is. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, everybody, and I hope that this is a fun month for you, because it certainly can be when we embrace it. So I will invite our ushers out. We have Kay and Randy. This is where we offer our financial commitment to make sure that the center is here to reach people, to spread this message, to develop our work in this world. We are blessed to be here because of all the people that have supported us in the past, and now we're here to support it for all the people that are coming in the future and as we continue to shift. So there's several ways to give. We always make it easy. Text to tithe, which is my favorite way, which I'll do in just a moment. You just text a dollar amount to 239-320-3820. The first time, it'll walk you through some steps. After that, you send a dollar amount, and it's done. It'll tell you, thank you, we received it, and you know that it's all good. You can also pay through PayPal at cslcapecoral.org. We have a donate button on our website that's very easy to use. We can send checks in the mail. Our address is CSL Cape Coral at 406 Southeast 24th Avenue here in Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And then we have our wonderful ushers who will be bringing around baskets. You can also place prayer requests in here. We have a box outside that you can place them in, and our practitioners and myself, we will pray on those prayer requests throughout the week. If you haven't tried a prayer request, if you haven't tried a miracle moment, I really want to encourage you to do it, because this stuff works. It causes shifts. What we know in consciousness has to manifest in what we know in this world. So this is our affirmation that we like to say. So if you have, something, a thought, money, hold it in your heart, and we just say, today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. So thank you. And Ralph Leesburg for the offertory song today.
Standing as one in the presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good. Standing as one source of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good.
Thanks and gratitude for the gifts that everybody has generously shared with us, knowing that that love and that light just continues to expand in each individual heart, in everybody that comes through these doors or comes through the virtual window of YouTube and Facebook, all the different ways that we come together, and recognizing that we are one with all those across this planet who are moving forward in their own way. So I know that these gifts are multiplied and received and put into good use, and that it continues to just create more space for more awakening on this planet. Deepest gratitude, I say thank you, and so it is. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
So we are pleased to announce that there are opportunities for you to serve with our youth. Sign-up sheet is in the back table, along with other things for us to sign up in the rear of the sanctuary. And I just like to give a plug for service. I know since years and years and years, those of you who know me see that I serve a lot, and I do it mostly because I'm compelled to, because that's what Spirit does. But the other part is I get so much more than I could ever give. So I just want to give a plug for give. It's a good thing to do here at the center. And today, as Pam mentioned, we are having a workshop on shadow effect, and Reverend Chris said he was going to be here. I know I'm going to stay, and hopefully we'll see more of you here. So please hang around after service. Join us for our very own Patty Carney, who does the USI Holy Fire 3 Reiki Master. She's a distant Reiki session teacher on Zoom, and the next session is going to be June 6th from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And you can visit our calendar on cslcapecoral.org to register. This is offered on a love donation, and I'm pretty sure that Patty also does private sessions too. I just wanted to give a plug for that because I know she's an amazing Reiki master. And it is time for our spring fling, which is already next Saturday. So please remember, be here. We have tickets for sale in our bookstore, and it is $25 before the event and $30 at the door. We have so many great prizes this year. We have some rounds of golf, including a golf cart. We have tickets to different theater stuff. We have, of course, our always 50-50 raffle. And we have our amazing Big Love Band, which is going to do a set for us. So please plan to be here. And we also have more volunteer opportunities. There is a sign-up sheet in the back for that. So hopefully we will see some people here on Friday night to help turn this sanctuary into a dance floor. So if you have any more questions about how you may serve, you can see me or be in person, and we will certainly find something for you to do. Our next beautification day is May 20th. We have beautiful grounds here, and our beautification team does a really great job. And whatever level you can help out, they will find something for you to do, even if it's just supporting those who are here. So it's a fun thing to do. Please join us. And as Reverend Chris was talking about up here at the end of service, practitioners line up. So don't leave with anything heavy on your heart. And if you are creating something new, it is just an awesome way to anchor and to bring stuff. One of my favorite teacher talks about how we can't be afraid of the dark because everything comes from the dark and into the light. And praying with a practitioner is one awesome way to do that. It's basically bringing from the invisible into the visible realm. And we just love to help out with that. And we want to say thank you. And did Reverend Chris have something else to say? Oh, okay.
And
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Linda. I apologize for this because I missed it last week, and I almost missed it again this week. And I had it in my notes at the start of my talk. I was going to do it, and there it goes. Well, what it is, it's our volunteer of the month, and it's an important thing because we really appreciate the people that are giving their time, their talents, and their treasure. And this person has been doing that for years, is very loved, always at the beautification days. And the perk is you get a wonderful parking spot out front that says Volunteer of the Month. And so this person already got cheated out of 1 week of it because I forgot to do this last week. So for the first week of next month, if this person wants, they can have the minister spot. We'll do that. I get that spot all the time, which doesn't, I'm just still flattered by that. But our volunteer of the week, or of the month, is Phyllis McCormick. Would you like to stand up, Phyllis? As you know, those of you who have come around on different times, even just today, Phyllis is always here with that big smile and loving presence and working, always going to town, helping us to keep the center going. So Phyllis, thank you so much for your service. We love you, and enjoy the spot for the next 3 weeks, and then take the minister for the next one. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Let's give her one more hand. Appreciate it. You're welcome to. We'll talk about that later.